Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Automotive Logistics and Supply Chain Red Sofa, where I'm very pleased to welcome once again Dr. Nikolaides, who's the Senior Vice President for Production Network and Logistics at the BMW Group. Michael, you joined me here last year. It's such a pleasure to have you back. So Michael, this year, one of the topics we're talking about together at the conference is how you've been managing the supply chain through all of this disruption, and including a sort of cross-functional program committee that I believe you helped to lead. Talk a little bit about how that has helped BMW to, let's say, thrive during this even very disruptive period.
So I think in general there are three key success factors for that. First of all, you have to think about early on how resilient do you want to set up your supply chain and production system. The earlier you do that, the better you are off if volatility comes. One example is our power of choice technology. We produce each and every drivetrain of a car on the same production system. So if the customer demand is changing, you can react very easily. The second thing, and I think this evolved a lot during the last couple of years, digitalisation, the use of artificial intelligence and data transparency. You need to have data, real-time data to take decisions. And the third thing is you need to have the right people in the right frequency at the table to take decisions. And that's what the program commission is doing. It doesn't help if you have a committee every month and the world is changing every day.
No, absolutely. But it can help to steer better decisions and make sure things are aligned. Although this disruption has remained constant, BMW in 2023 had a record production year, hopefully heading to something similar this year. How would you've identified some of these key strategies. What are other ways that you've sort of managed to maintain this high level, even despite what continues to be a very volatile period?
Like I said, we have a system set up decades ago, which is very flexible. For example, we talked about that last year, I think. It's our KOVP process.
Yes, customer orientated.
We can change our production plan up to 6 days before we actually produce the car, which basically was very successful, for example, during the Red Sea crisis. We had to reroute the complete material around Africa, which led to lead time increase of 4 weeks, and we did not stop for a single hour in any production site. And the success factor was because we were flexible, we could shift.
Yeah, that is an excellent example. Another area that is undeniable is that in recent years, logistics costs have risen. So like so many costs in this time of inflation, and now hopefully with there's probably more focus on some performance and bringing down these costs where possible. Are there areas you would identify that are a particular focus for reducing costs in logistics?
Yes, I would again say there are three aspects. First of all, again, if you set it up right, you're efficient. So we try to influence sourcing decisions. Always take into account total landed costs and think about how resilient you want to be, what could happen geopolitically. That's the first factor. The second thing is we use, again, digitalisation and artificial intelligence to optimize our networks. You can do a lot, and we do that with our logistics partners. And the third thing is we do our homework. So we reduce loading times, we reduce waiting times for truckers, and that together brings a lot of efficiency.
Yeah, okay, so focusing more on that. And finally, and you kind of allude to that, because we want to bring down costs and be more efficient, but not to reduce the resiliency, right? So is that become, let's say, even more of a focus now to sort of not lose the resiliency and flexibility that we've built into the system? How do you find that balance?
Basically, it's a complete field of strain between these two dimensions. For sure, you have to be efficient and you have to bring down your costs. But in the end, you always have to keep in mind in times like that, how resilient, what is the effect on your resilience? And not always is the cheapest decision the best one in the long run. And that's what we try to figure out during sourcing decisions and everything we do. And in the end, you need to have experience, you need to have a view on the world, and you need to accept that volatility won't go away. It's a fact which I'm really convinced of.
No, and I think many would agree there. Michael, thank you so much for sharing this with us. Of course, we'll be bringing more highlights from Michael's presentation here in Bonn, and more insights from across the conference. But great to have you back here in the Red Sofa and back with us here at Automotive Logistics and Supply Chain Europe.
Thank you.
Thank you.